Good day, everyone, and welcome once again to the JBS Business School Lagos Open Day event. My name is Adibenga Guru, and I would like to demonstrate how every single person interested in applying for the JBS Business School Lagos can do so using the online platform that has been made available. So upon clicking the link to apply, you would be brought to this section of the platform, and you would then be able to register, jumpstart the registration process for your application. During the course of this demonstration, I will be utilizing a service called Mailinator that allows us to simulate email accounts so as to show you the various emails that you would receive throughout the course of you applying towards the JBS Business School Lagos. I will start by creating an email account that we can utilize for this applicant. So the email account is resident@tunji.o@mailinator.com for this test purposes. Upon registration, the user is informed that their account has been registered and they can proceed to log in. In the same vein, this user would have received, so you would also receive an email informing you that an account has been created for you and also providing you with details about the password that was created and how you can access your account. So once we log into this account, you are then brought into the platform. And within the platform, you will find the various sections that you would need to provide the information regarding your application to the JBS via this navigational link on the left. The center point, you would have the forms that you would need to fill throughout the course of the application. And to your right, you will find pertinent information that allows you to better proceed through this process. So this cohort is called Pioneers. Registration opens officially today. It closes on March 1st, 2021. And the application processing fee is 10,000 naira. Just below it, you will see your submission status, which indicates that you have completed the steps within the application process. So proceed to fill out this form now. So you basically fill the information. Country is Nigeria. Your country of birth, if it is different, you can fill that information in. Provide your phone number. If you have an alternative phone number, you can make that available as well. You can also provide your date of birth. Your gender, and your marital status. So if you are single, you can proceed. But if you are married, the form would then ask you to provide the name of your spouse. If you have any dependents, you can provide that information as well. If none, just input 0. How will you obtain funds to pay for your tuition? You can select from any of the options, and if no option is available, you can click on Order and provide more information. Have you previously attended? If you select yes, it would ask you for the dates when you applied, or if you say no, you can proceed. Do you have any outstanding debts with the JBS? No. Are you currently an active member of a church? If you say no, you can proceed. If you say yes, we would then like to know if you are a member of the Covenant Nation. If yes, you can proceed. If no, we would like to know what church you attend. This is just for example purposes. And then provide any additional information you want to. You would also be required to upload your passport photograph or a profile picture, a good headshot of yourself. Once you submit the information, this is available for you and it's saved. As you can see, the image that was uploaded is also rendered and made available. Before you proceed, you also have the opportunity to edit any of the information that you have submitted. And if you believe that you are satisfied with the information you have provided at this point in time, you can lock in your information and proceed to the next section. Until you lock in the information for every section of the application process, you will not be able to proceed to the next section. Please also be aware that the moment you lock in your information, you would not be able to edit it anymore. As you can see, the information is now no longer editable, and you now have the option to proceed to the next section, which is the educational information section. So within this section, you provide as much information about your educational history that you can provide. I'll start by just providing maybe just one for the purpose of this demonstration. You can select the start and end date using the calendar icon, or you can just input data, and this is month, so 04. Here you provide the month and year you received your degree or your certification. Now you'll notice that there are two tabs within this view. One of them is to allow you see the information you have already submitted, which also gives you the ability to edit this information if there's a need for you to. And once you do that, your information is updated within the system, and you can proceed to add more information about your education. If you are satisfied with what you've added, you can then proceed to lock in your information, and you will receive the button and instruction to be able to proceed to the next section. Please also note that you do not have to necessarily fill the application form in one sitting. You could always come back at any point in time. And you'll be able to continue where you dropped off in the application process. So you'll be able to always see the information you've provided in the past, and then you can provide new information. So we'll proceed to the employment information section now. Now we also have two tabs here. If you are currently employed, please use the I am employed tab. If you are not employed, you can provide information about your most recent employer and your last date of employment, and also upload your resume. You are able to upload your resume in both forms. And as you can see on the side, like I mentioned earlier, once you have completed a section, the bubble becomes green. I'll proceed to fill this out. It is advisable that you provide as much information as you possibly can while filling out the form. And then you can upload your resume. Once you have provided this information, the other tab no longer becomes available to you, and you can then edit any of the information you have provided. You can also preview the resume you have uploaded onto the server, and you can also change it if you want to. But once you are satisfied with the information you have provided, you can lock in your information and proceed to the next section. The extracurricular activities section allows you to provide as much information about any voluntary activities that you are involved in or any associations that you are affiliated with. So similar to the educational section, you can add as many extracurricular activities that you want to, and you can always preview them here and edit them to suit your expectations as the need arises. Once you're satisfied with the information you provided, you can lock it in and also proceed to the next section. The next section is the awards section. And within that section, you can profile any awards that you have received throughout the course of your operations, in your career, or in life, so to say. Please endeavor to provide a valid date. You can see your awards as well and edit if you need to do so at any point in time. If you are satisfied, lock it in and proceed to the next section. The next section is about your emergency contacts, and within this section, you're allowed to profile 2 emergency contacts. The moment you have provided 2 contacts, the form is disabled. You can go into the information you provided and edit it as you deem fit. And you can then lock in your information and proceed to the next section. The next section is an important section within the application process, and it has to do with your essays. There are 2 different essays designed for, well, not 2, but there are essays designed for either for different positions that you are at, whether you are an entrepreneur or you are not an entrepreneur. So depending on which applies to you, take your selection, select it, and then you provide your essay. Now, this is a 500-word essay. It's important that you stick to that. I'll just copy and paste something in here. And you'll notice that there's a counter as well, which would help you track the words you are writing regarding your essay. Once you're satisfied when you're done, you can submit your essay. Please also note that the essay is also still going to be available for you to edit it when you are done, and you can always make changes to it if you need to. And once you make changes to it, you can update, and your information will be saved and kept for you. And once you're satisfied what you've done, you lock it in and you proceed. The next section is about you profiling your referees, people who would provide recommendations to you. The recommendations you provide will be very important in the evaluation of your application submission into the JBS. I'm going to use the Mailinator service so that I can simulate the emails that would be sent to both your referees and to you as well during the process of you profiling this. You also have a limit of providing 2 referees. The moment you provide that, you are then brought to the listing where you will notice you won't be able to add any more referees at this point in time. This is a point where you can then notify your referees and inform them about the fact that you want them to provide you with the recommendation letter in your application process. JBS system would forward an email to them. So let's start off by creating so the moment I click on the notify referee for Benjamin Zuko, the system would generate a predefined email personalized to you and send that in. So the person would receive the notification that you are asking for a recommendation. Good day, Benjamin Zuko. Tunji Odelami is applying for admission to the JBS Business School, Lagos. I need a recommendation from you. We would appreciate it if you could provide some information about Tunji Odelami. Your candid assessment of this applicant will assist the admissions committee in the evaluation. So this is basically going to allow your referees provide the information. And once they receive the email, they click on submit recommendation. The recommendation form is presented to your referees and then they can fill out the form. Now, this form shouldn't take your referee too long to fill, so you can inform them in time so that they do not delay your submission of your application to the system. The moment they submit this, they would receive an email from the system letting them know that we have received the recommendation they provided. You would also receive an email from the platform informing you that one of your referees has provided you with the recommendation so that you can come back into the system and lock in your recommendation. If per adventure you have a referee who you have profiled, but the person has not responded to the email and is taking too long, you have the ability to delete that person's information from the system and profile another referee. The moment you delete this and the deletion is successful, the referee form is reopened for you and you can now fill out another referee information. So let's do that here. So I'll create an email for this person as well. Notify the referee. The referee would receive email notification and can proceed to provide the information they need. Now, the moment all your recommendations have come in, you will then be in a position to proceed. So this recommendation has been saved. If we come back to the platform and you refresh your recommendation section, you notice that all your recommendations are in. You can see the information, the details of your referees, but you can't edit it anymore because they've locked in their recommendations. And then you can lock in this section of the system and proceed. And then next, you'll be brought to the terms and conditions section of the system. So once you accept the terms and conditions, the next step would be for you to make payment for your application processing fee. And you can start the process by clicking on this button. The transaction reference will be generated for you. and then you can initiate your payment process. And you can basically make payments with your card online. So this is a test environment. The moment you finish doing this, you will then be routed back to the system where you'll be asked to lock in your payment. Once you have imputed your card details, your PIN, and your card expiration information, it will then ask you to verify your transaction, where you'll be routed to your payment provider's platform, and you can input the OTP or token that they would share with you. Once it is successful, you will then be routed back to the platform and informed of the success of your payment. You would also receive an email notification indicating that JBS has received your application processing fee, at which point in time you have one last lock-in to do, which will be to lock in your payment. This step concludes your application to the JBS Business School, Lagos, and you would be informed accordingly that you have completed your application submission, at which point the organization will then proceed to evaluate your submissions and inform you accordingly if you have been accepted into the system or not. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best.